You will want this because 3 things you need this today. Do you have a lead magnet that you are giving your audience to build your mailing list? If you don't have a lead magnet, listen to today's episode where I explain what a lead magnet is, why you need it, and roughly how to do it. A lead magnet is ever so important to have to grow your business, and that's what we're all trying to do, right? So let's do this. Hello, you're listening to the Courageous Goals podcast. This podcast is for high-achieving, courageous women who want growth and the know-how to scale their business online. Running a business is a journey and a process. The more we learn in action, the more we succeed. If you're a woman in business, this is the podcast for you. Be in the 5% of businesses that make it. Let's get bold and create the life we desire. I'm bringing my passion to you through advice, coaching, inspiration, and support to help you create and design the life and business you want to live. I am a Dubsado expert, CPD certified in social media platforms, and a lover of admin systems and processes. I am an accredited ICF coach, specialising in trauma and narcissism. My own coaching journey has supported my growth immensely, and I want to share those highlights with you to inspire and give you courage. Let's get intentional with our goals and make them happen. Let's get started. Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Courageous Goals podcast. Today I'd like to talk to you about how to grow your business with a free resource. So for those of you that don't know, this is a lead magnet. You might have heard this term whilst being a freelancer, whilst having a business, and you've probably wondered what it is. I know I did when I started out in business. I was like, what is a lead magnet? Well, today I'm going to tell you. So a lead magnet is basically a free resource that you provide your audience, your customers, your connections with in exchange for their email address. Now, this can be absolutely anything. It can be a PDF, a quiz, a masterclass, an ebook. It can be absolutely anything that you would like to give away for free. Now, you're probably wondering why we would do that, why we would create something and give it away for free. So like I said, it's an exchange for their email address. We want people's email addresses in our mailing list. The idea behind that is to build relationships and to get to know your audience and get to know what your audience actually want and need in business, because you're going to start creating and offering all these different things. Whatever it is that you specialize in, you are the person that they need, that they're going to go to, because you know all of this knowledge about what it is that you do. So you're going to give them a taster, something that you really, really understand, that you know how to do, that you've learnt how to do, and you're going to create that in a free resource, whether again it's a PDF, a quiz, a masterclass, an ebook, and you're going to give that to people. But in exchange, you would like their email address. Now, I've learnt this recently because you might have seen that my lead magnet is all about time blocking. I know how to time block. I know it works. I know the steps to take to get to grips with it. I know how to do it regularly. I have it there that's in my calendar continually, but I know how to amend it and really work with it each week, depending on what's going on for me in my business at the time. So before creating this free resource a few months ago, now I'm hoping that you're not going to laugh at me when I say this, but I was actually quite old school, and I would just give away all the time free resources, free knowledge, and I actually still do it now. I give quite a lot away, but I used to physically give away free resources because I knew how to do things, and I would literally make a note of who it was I had given away that free resource to. I was right at the beginning of my business. I was learning, I was trying to work, I was trying to grow a business. I was learning how to run a business and do it properly and how to do it correctly. And so this was the way that I knew how. And I didn't have a lot of people around me. I was still growing my network. I was still developing relationships. And so I didn't really know what a lead magnet was about. And I was intrigued by it because I'd heard the term, but I just never really had the time to dive in and find out really what it was and what it was all about and what I had to do. And now knowing, I've known how to create and do a lead magnet for maybe a couple of years because I've been doing it for my clients. However, I've not actually done it for myself properly until a few months ago. And that was when I did my time blocking PDF. And it's absolutely fascinating what you find out and you learn along the way. And yeah, you just kind of get to a point and it's like, why didn't I do that all those years ago? Why have I just been sitting on all of these free resources and not, created this amazing lead magnet? So I really want to help you so that you're not wasting the amount of time that I wasted to get to the point where I'm at now in actually properly creating a lead magnet. So we are going to dive into a little bit about what it is that makes a good lead magnet and how to do it. So, what makes a really good lead magnet is how to solve a real problem for your audience. They could be, they could be anything, anyone. They could be doing all sorts in their business, but they have no idea how to run a business or how to create a lead magnet or how to coach themselves or how to make social media work for them. It could be absolutely anything. And you could be the absolute queen on this topic. And when I say that, you might be thinking to yourself, I don't have a certification, I don't have a qualification, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't actually have something that says I'm an expert on whatever it is. But the point is, you are an expert on this thing because you have learned how to do it. Something is working for you and you regularly do it this way, or you action this, or you do that. That makes you an expert because this other person has no clue on how to do it. You could be stood in a room of, 1,000 people, and everyone in that room could be a coach and they know how to coach, but they don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to find clients. They don't know how to make social media work for them. There could be all these different things, but you are that one person in that room that knows how to do it. So in that room, you are the expert. You have the knowledge, you have the skills, you know how to do it. So you know how to solve that real problem. So make notes as I'm talking if you want to. If this really relates to you, make some notes. So you're going to solve the problem for them. Another thing you're going to do is create something that promises them one quick win. So a lead magnet should really promise some sort of win in some way. It's going to give them something that they're going to be able to achieve. It could be a PDF that you create, give them a few steps to work through, and then they've got a quick win right there because they've implemented something. You want to be super specific about what it is that you're creating. So you don't want to create something that's quite general. It doesn't go into detail. It doesn't actually tell you how to do something. You want to focus on one thing. So again, like my time blocking PDF, it specifically focuses on how to time block in your calendar. And I've worked through the steps in the PDF that I've created for people. You're going to look at all of your tasks that you do. You're going to write everything down. You're going to see where you can actually group those things together and then time block them. The idea of it is to save time, to work efficiently. And this solves a real problem for people, because people put things on their to-do list and they get moved on to the next day or the next week or the next month. And things do take time. They really do. And when you're working on something and you're constantly thinking about something else, things can end up taking you double the time or even more. You know, you might have one of those days where you just really do not get enough done because your mind is elsewhere. Whereas with time blocking, if you're actually time blocking and you know you've got time to allow for, I don't know, for client work, and then you've got time to allow for admin, and you've got time to allow for personal things, you actually have that time blocked in your calendar and you know it's going to happen. That then releases, like, the weight that's lifted off your shoulders is unbelievable, because you know you've got that time there. It's going to be there and you will get it done. So get really specific about what it is that you're providing as a free resource. You also want your resource to be of high value, because that will instantly give that know, trust and like factor. Like, someone will really value your content. They will trust you and they will really take a lot from it. So it also, actually, I just wanted to add, it also adds your expertise on what it is that you're talking about if you do it in this way. So really think about those things and what makes a good lead magnet. So now I'd like to really get down to the details on how you're going to do it. So I would like you to make some time in your calendar. This is me talking about time blocking again. Can you tell? I really value time blocking. It is amazing for keeping track. So I would like you to block some time in your calendar and allow yourself an hour or two, or even just half an hour if you just like to get started with a short amount of time, and grab a notebook and a pen and just sit down and think about who your audience are and what it is that you do, and think about what you can really give that is of high value that people really want and need. What are they struggling with? Talk to them about what it is that they need, what it is that they want, and talk to them in a way that is going to grip them. So in your content, when you start writing your actual lead magnet, you want to be saying things like, you will want this because, or 3 things you need this today. And then give obviously reasons that go with those sentences. So you want to talk to them rather than say, I this and I that, or this will do this, or whatever. You need to add in the word you. It hugely makes a difference when people are reading your content. When you have created this freebie, again, you can do this in a PDF, a quiz, a masterclass, an ebook. You will then want to create this somewhere like Canva and really design it to make it look presentable and obviously of high value. So your content is high value, but you need your freebie to look high value also. So then when you have done this, you will then need to sign up to an e-marketing software. Now, you might already have an account. If you don't, something like MailerLite would be a really good option. It's free and it's probably one of the easiest ones to learn. So this is the place that you will email out your freebie. So you will need to create a landing page, which is just like a website, but it's one page. It's basically like a sales page. So you're selling, you're giving away your freebie. So you need to create a paragraph of text that talks to your audience, that makes them want to give away their email address to you in exchange for your free resource that you have created, that really solves a huge problem that they have and they would like to be able to solve really quickly. Now, there are so many real problems that people have. So it could be absolutely anything that you do. Just make sure that you give high value content and the know-how, super specific, a real quick win, so that they really get the value from this freebie. You need their email address. Now, you're probably wondering why. Why are you doing this? So, like I've briefly said before, you're doing this because you want their email address. Why do you want their email address? Okay, so this could be lots of different reasons. So what I'm going to focus on is you want their email address because you're going to continue to email them after they have got your free resource. You're going to build a relationship with them. You're going to teach them little tips and tricks that you can share with them when you email. Now, you might choose to email them weekly or monthly, whatever it is that you decide to do. Be in regular contact with these people, give away tips and tricks, and show the value of you and what you know in your business. Then eventually you can start to really sell your products, your services, whatever it is that you do. This is where you're going to sell yourself. Now, another way to look at this is, I don't know about you, but if you're very present on social media like I am, I have built my business on social media. I really have. Facebook groups are the place that I tend to get a lot of my clients, and I really value Facebook. I'm also very present on Instagram. LinkedIn, I'm trying to get there. I used to be very present on LinkedIn a few years ago, and then I kind of moved away from it, but I think I'm ready to go back there again now. It's just a very different world to Facebook and Instagram. Anyway, that's a completely different story. So you might be very present on social media, but what if social media went down? What if it was completely gone tomorrow? How would you continue to gain new clients? How would you continue to grow your business? What would you do if social media was gone? So that's why we are creating your very own email list. Your email list is extremely important. You want people to connect with you and sign up for your stuff so that they can be in contact with you. Ever since I put out my free resource about time blocking a few months ago, I have had so many people come to me either in messages, in person, in email, wherever it is. They've all mentioned or replied to my emails that I now send them once a week. I email my list once a week, and I also email them monthly because I also showcase courageous women in my Facebook group, and it has really shown the value in what I'm giving because of the reaction and the responses that I'm getting from these people. So your email list is so important. So important. So if you're not doing it already, you really need to do it. So back to MailerLite. So you're going to create a landing page, and you're really going to talk to your people to be able to get their email address in exchange for the free resource that you have created. Once you have done this, you need to create a sequence of emails that sends, so the people that sign up, you want to send them their initial email that gives them a link for the free resource, because that's what they've given you their email address for. So you need to send that straight away so that they've got that in their inbox ASAP. Then you want to send a series of emails, however many that is, that's up to you. I think I have 4 in mine. So in my email sequence, I'm telling them a little bit about me, how I started in business, what it is that I do, so that people really get to know me, and hopefully they like me and they trust me and they are seeing the value in what it is that I do and what I offer. So ultimately, this is building the relationship between you and your audience, those people that have given you your email addresses. Now, there's a fair few people in my email in my email list that I do know that are my clients, or that are people I know in business. So other coaches, other VAs, content writers. Like, there's loads of people that I know because I've been in business for nearly 6 years now. At the same time, there's lots of people now in my email list that I have no idea who they are, but they have signed up for my free resource because I've given them a solution to their problem. I have solved something for them. And that is talking to them, because they don't have all the time in the world to be, doing everything that you need to do as a business owner. They want to be able to focus on the thing that they absolutely love doing. So I'm hoping that I've solved a real problem for them, and that's why they've signed up to my time blocking PDF. With this in mind, I'm also going to now create a time blocking workshop, because although these people have signed up to my free resource, they are still struggling to find the time to actually do it. People need to be held accountable to do things. They need someone to hold their hand and work through something with them, because even if they've got that free resource and they're sat down with it, they don't always know how to do it, or they might have questions along the way, or they just, like me, if I'm working on something that I don't specifically know how to do, it can take me a lot longer to work it out, and I can get myself in the right faff and I end up delaying things, or I procrastinate. And everybody is the same, but they're the same in different ways. So on the back of this, I will be creating a time blocking workshop that will be coming up very soon. Actually, I've decided to go for it because there's so many people that struggle with accountability. And the idea is, actually, if you've got this time blocked in, if you know that you've booked this workshop and you're actually going to work with other people to do the same thing, because you know it's going to benefit you, especially give you time back, you're definitely going to do it. You're going to focus and get it done, because ultimately, once you've learned how to time block, and then you learn how to do it on a weekly basis so that you can adapt to your schedule that week, it will then give you that real value that you need so that you can have that time back and work on the things that you really want to be able to do. So I really hope that today has given you something to think about with regards to a lead magnet, and I hope that you've got all these ideas flying around in your head. If you have, I would love to hear them. So feel free to connect with me. If you're already connected, just send me a message. I would love to hear, because I love supporting people with things like this. And that's why I'm a coach. That's why I mentor people and I work with strategy. I absolutely love doing things like this and getting down to the nitty-gritty details and sitting there with you. It could be in person or even on a Zoom, and pen and paper, writing the ideas down and working through these things together, because working on your own is so different to working with somebody else, and they might think of something that you may not have thought of before. So definitely, if you have ideas but you're not sure if it's enough value, or if it promises that very quick win that people need, or even if it's valuable, if people are going to want it or not, feel free to drop me a message, or even come over and join the Courageous Women in Business Facebook group. I would love to have more women in our group. The group is going very well at the moment, and we're actually going to start doing co-working and accountability sessions on Mondays from the first Monday in September. So if that's something that you'd like to do, come on over to the group, join us, and then you can potentially join us for those Monday sessions. Okay, right, so I will drop the links in the show notes. So if you haven't got the time blocking free resource, even if it's something that doesn't relate to you right now, you might already be doing time blocking or whatever it is, you could potentially look at my lead magnet and use that as an idea for your very own lead magnet. Whatever it is, it might be of some value to you. So if you'd like to sign up for it, then please do go ahead. Okay, I think that's it for today. So I hope that you have taken some value from today's episode, and I look forward to seeing what you all create. Thank you so much for listening to the Courageous Goals podcast. I really hope you've enjoyed today's episode and taken something of value for you. If you'd love more advice, coaching, inspiration and support, head on over to join many other courageous women in business in our free community group over on Facebook. We'd love to welcome you. You can also find free useful resources over on the website at leannebrown.com/resources. Right, that's all for this week. I look forward to sharing another episode with you next week.